Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Stilezzi with yet another Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition cast game. It will be another 1 versus 1, this time the Portuguese versus the Swedish. Yeah, this should be a pretty interesting match. You know, I like the Swedes a lot, they're a very powerful civ with their torps. It'll be curious to see how they rip apart the Portuguese potentially, or vice versa. Before we get started, let's look at the map real quick. Big feature here is obviously this big giant river here, where you get little boats that trade along the route. You can build trading posts to capture specific parts of this route to get resources, just like you would with the land trade route. Also on both sides, you got a couple of European natives. We'll be curious to see if these players roll up their sides of the rivers or not, or if they go straight to combat. Let's begin. Alright, so let's start with Portuguese. Yeah, Portuguese is interesting civ to say the least. They're very boomy, yet very defensive. The main concept of Portugal is you get a free covered wagon with each age up, so essentially you can start booming out multiple town centers right from the second age. Yeah. And you get a total of about 5 TCs by the time you hit Imperial Age, so it ends up working out really nice for you. But you don't get any villager cards from the home cities, so their decks look a weeny bit different. As for the, oh yeah, nice wood Swedish, you really can use that. Transitioning to Swedish. Swedish are best known for their unique house, the Torp. The Torp is a house that acts like a little mini villager in a way, because you build the Torp next to these trees, it will gather from these trees. You gather it next to a mine like this, the Torp will actually start to gather from the mine, and it can even gather from deceased animals like this one nearby. Yeah, so it's quite a powerful building, it adds to your economy. And the fact that Shaman picked up a wood treasure earlier will mean that he might even, with a couple more wood treasures, maybe get an extra torp out, you know? Typically, I start building all my torps out in the transition from age 1 to 2 and beyond, because you can have up to 20 torps, and trust me, if you can build these torps on every one of these mines on the map, your economy is going to go sky high, sky high. Speaking of the Swedish deck, let's take a look at it. We got about 3 settlers here. Pretty standard start for Swedish. Interestingly, I don't see the blueberry card on here. Yeah, that's kind of strange, you know. I always put the blueberry card in there because one more thing you'll notice about Swedish Torps, they spawn a berry bush. And with the blueberry card, you basically turn these into blueberries. They have more food in them, so the Torp will be gathering from them a lot longer, and the Torp will also gather quicker from the blueberry bush compared to the regular bush. So I don't know why he doesn't have that, but he does have Engelberg Ironworks. This is a Swedish standard. It basically, from the looks of it, it doubles the gather rate from the mines. So it becomes an even bigger economic powerhouse. Everything else looks pretty standard Swedish stuff, I would say, so nothing too different here. Oh yeah, one more neat little trick. If you ship this card here, you would actually be able to access the Jaegers from your barracks, since a lot of the send one type of mercenary unit type of cards will enable those mercenaries at their respective regular military building, which is a neat little trick, making Swedes very immersive. At the same time, let's look at the Portuguese. They're actually aging up with the Philosopher Prince right now, so probably looking to do some sort of fast fortress. That seems to benefit the Portuguese quite well, since, you know, they don't get any villager cards, so they really start to shine in age 3, when, if you follow the math, they'll have about 3 town centers up by then, because they'll have 2 covered wagons. And as you can see from a Portuguese deck, majority of their cards will typically be in age 3 and 4, where they really shine. He doesn't really plan to be in age 2 that much from the looks of it, you know. He's going to be going straight up for age 3, which is the smart way to go, I would say. Because You don't really want to deal with Swedes in Age 2 when they're getting so much eco from their Torps. It's just an idea. Oh, Swedes, they got a trading post here. That'll prove very handy for them. Very good choice. Portuguese are going to be putting their first covered wagon over here, kind of covering this hunt over here, because we don't know what the Swedes are going to do exactly, because when they get so much resources from the Torps, it gives them a lot of power to do different things. Sometimes they'll spam their infantry, other times they'll go for a hussar raid. You know, and the Swedish hussar raids can be pretty intense at times. I've dealt with quite a few of them before. Yeah, it looks like Portugal went with the Philosopher Prince to get the food he needed for the fast fortress, and now he's shipping in the coin for it. So he's planning his macro out just perfectly to get that fortress age up, the 1.2k food and the 1k coin needed for that. He's already starting to double queue his TCs here. You got this one producing settlers, you got this one producing settlers. As the game progresses, your score tends to go exponentially higher. Yeah, that's the point of the Portuguese, you know. The longer you survive, the better you often do with them. Same can be said in the earlier game with the Swedes, but, you know, they don't have to wait that long to really get booming. All they need is to get all 20 Torps down on mines, ideally, and then, you know, they really are in excellent shape, I would say, you know. It's not much more to it. The more Torps you get, the better off you are. So he sent, Dominions. Delivers a number of Torps wagons. They can also gather from crates, and they can receive economic shipments, so that's a pretty neat card, because essentially instead of wasting your villagers' time collecting crates, you can let the Torps do it for you instead. Very nifty little trick. It does look like Swedish are going for a hussar raid, it looks like. Yeah, I see about 4 of them queuing up right now. He's probably going to try to crush the Portuguese hopes of a fast fortress and make it a not so fast fortress. Yeah, let's see if he can do that, though. You know, it's not easy. You know, Portuguese are a giant turtle to deal with, because as you saw with the Portuguese up there, he placed the TCs just close enough that he could garrison both of them, which would mean double the town center firepower, you know? You get hit by multiple long-range shots, they can effectively crush these cavalry if they hang out underneath them for too long. Oh, now we see Engelberg. This is a really important Swedish card. You're going to see this gold gather rate, this coin gather rate, I should say, go up exponentially more, because it's effectively doubled for each torp that's already on there, you know, and every one that he builds after that as well. Oh, we need to follow these hussars, though. We need to know, like, what's their game plan, what do they plan on slicing into with those sabers. Is he gonna get this straggler? Oh, we got a straggler up here. Yeah, that one's going down. Yep. Get that. Nope. Snare him. Good. You'll get him, I think. Yeah, you'll get that one. You'll get that one for sure. Oh, do you see the? Does he see? He sees the covered wagon, but it's too late, man. Too late. You could have. This is the one thing you can do to really mess up the Portuguese. Find their covered wagon and kill it, with ideally hussars or any other sort of hand cavalry. If you can do that, you actually really shoot the Portuguese in the foot in a way that's really hard for them to make up for, because it means one less TC to defend and one less TC to produce settlers from, so less booming. Unfortunately, couldn't do that, so he's just gonna encircle this base here with his hussars to see, you know, what sort of stuff can he do. Can he find any stragglers on the exterior? It's really great if you can keep Portuguese on their toes and keep nabbing settlers here and there. You really start to threaten their booming potential by doing that. Looks like Swedes are going to be going up to Fortress Age themselves with the exiled prince to keep up with the times and possibly get some upgrades on these hussars. You definitely don't want to be dealing with Portuguese dragoons, which are pretty strong with lots of cards available for them. With just generic hussars, you at least want veteran. Oh, so we see Treaty of Roskilde, the Royal Decree. Yeah, that's a pretty nice one. Yeah, I was looking at that one the other day, actually, when I was playing the Swedes. They get some pretty powerful options there. They can send some halberdiers in, they can send some Jaegers in and give them some special properties, and they can do a bit of a trade-off with their hand infantry to make them faster on foot, but also slower to train. So, good stuff. Mostly polearm focused stuff. Maybe we'll see some pikemen today. Who knows? Totally possible. Or maybe just some Jaegers. He's gonna just stack up some hussars, it looks like, to go into the Portuguese base again. Portuguese doing a good job capturing both of these trading posts. You know, he's really gonna need all the XP he can get to defend. Swedish picking up placer mines. He knows he needs a bit more coin to keep up with this cavalry production. Yeah, here we go with the hussars though. They're gonna start trying their way up here towards this trading post. Yeah, I mean, if you can pick apart these trading posts, great idea. You're gonna cut down on the XP income of the Portuguese significantly. Veteran hussar also coming in. This is gonna give you a bit more HP to do your raiding work with. Also a bit more attack to take things down quicker. Yeah, this is always a good idea to pick up if you can, the 2 market upgrades for settlers, because you never know when you yourself are going to get raided by something nasty. Just gets you a bit more survivability. Yeah, that's going down. Good job. Oh, here comes the dragoons though. The dragoons, you gotta be careful with these, especially with Portuguese. They can actually increase their range with one of their Age 4 cards. So, you really don't want to be in the crosshairs of these dragoons if you're using hussars. Big no-no. But it looks like Swedes are going to try to be annoying, going for the other trading posts. Let's see if he does that for long, because the dragoons are here, and they're going to... Yeah, they're killing you. They're killing you. You need to pay attention to that. You need to get out of there, I think. I mean, here's the thing, though. If you're Swedes, you don't get skirmishers. You get crossbowmen, but not skirmishers. Your next best bet is the Jaegers. He would actually have to ship this card in for them to be unlocked at the barracks. This one here, the Hessian contract. And then he'd be able to buff him up further with the Royal Decree at the church, which lets him go stealthy, I believe. But it does add a bit of a wood cost to him, I think, too, so you have to play it carefully. Very carefully. Hussars up here as well. They find their way to the fort, unfortunately, and they're going to get shot at. Hussars missing the mark here as the settlers can just go into the TC for safety. Oh, he will be able to slice these up, though. Yeah. Cassadors and Minutemen. Did he get... Yeah, I think he might have gotten something over there. Yeah, get out of there, though. The dragoons are in close pursuit of you. You're not going to be able to do that for long. Not going to be able to do that for long at all, actually. Oh, the engineer, nice. This is going to grant him 2 falconets. Yeah, you're going to probably need some serious artillery to deal with the Portuguese, I would say. Especially if they go with the law Cassadors or Musketeers, potentially. And yeah, I guess you could keep up with the Hussars. At least it discourages Cassador usage, but you do need a solution to deal with the Dragoons. That's probably going to be Jaegers, I would assume. Can't really think of what else Swedes can do to deal with those things. But we do see natives being accessed here. The House of Wedden. Very nice. What about Portuguese? What are they doing? Same thing. Likewise, Industrial Age. Engineer. Oh yeah, so everybody likes free falconets, it look. Oh wait a minute, no, never mind, they get organ guns, yeah. Portuguese get organ guns. In Wars of Liberty, Portuguese get falconets called foot artillery instead of organ guns, because, you know, that's a more modern thing, but here they use organ guns. Organ guns are basically just like very medieval, like machine guns, you know? It looks like an organ and shoots multiple bullets and rapid fire. They're quite good against infantry, you know. Not so good against buildings, usually. But that's fine, you know. They usually spray things down pretty easily. Portuguese, they're going for their farming now. Getting seed drill, followed by artificial fertilizer, I would assume. So yeah, keeping up with the booming. Got one queued here. Nothing queued here though, so maybe he needs to keep up with his Vil queues a bit more in his TC, so he's getting the maximum. Oh, but be careful of this though. Hussars, veteran Hussars. That's gonna hurt if you don't. Yeah, one dead. That one's gonna die. Is anyone gonna die over here? This one, yep. You surround, yep. Alright, market technologies from Portuguese coming in from, yep, placer mine, gang saw, so the level 1 market technologies. This is where Portuguese tend to take off and soar. You know, when they start to produce more than 3 town centers in industrial age. So now he has 4 town centers, so he could conceivably maintain 4 queues of settlers, should he want to, and that would be quite a powerful thing. Swedes taking a power play and building a TC down here to capture this area, and also some barracks to defend it. Okay, so we see factories coming in for the Portuguese. These factories are going to be pretty useful in bringing in even more resources or to produce heavy cannon. So it looks like at this rate, Shaman needs to think about changing things up a bit. You know, he's shipped in 2 heavy cannons, which will definitely help against infantry. Now he's starting to train some of the Caroliners, however you say it in Swedish. They're basically like musketeers that deal their anti-cavalry multipliers at range instead of hand, as you'll see here. Yep. It's basically like a foot dragoon, really. And then they get this special big button ability that lets them take out their swords and chase stuff down, doing a lot of hand damage. They're pretty well-rounded unit, I would say. Yeah, and they actually get a lot of card support too, like this one. Inflicts more damage with the range attacks and gains additional multipliers against cavalry. So yeah, very powerful stuff. If you can get a large mass of Caroliners, they can usually cut through just about any massive hussars you can imagine. And he's going to be using those to protect his artillery here, the 2 Falcons from Engineer, also the 2 shipped heavy cannons. Also, some of the hussars are still alive here and will aid in the skirmish. Yep, oh, that poor settler got shot by a cannonball. That must not feel good. Not at all. But do they really have a path of pushing into the base yet? That'll be seen. I don't think they really have a chance of pushing into the greater base yet. They're going to need a bit more stuff. What would be great is if you had some sort of mortar, you know, some sort of mortar to attack the TC with. If you had some more Caroliners in case hussars come out. And something to deal with these dragoons. Yeah, you need something to deal with these things. These things are going to be a serious problem for you if you don't deal with them. Very serious threat. Well, the hussars are gonna, well, they're gonna retreat because, yeah, you can't deal with that for long against those dragoon multipliers. Oh, here comes the heavy cannons of the Portuguese. Yeah, these things. It's gonna be a cannon war, it looks like. Well, let's see. Oh, is he gonna get that one? Yep, that one's gone. Good, good, good. Just get this one now with the hussars a little bit. Perfect, yep. Good micro with the artillery. You are making good use of it. Because the one job you need to do is make sure you kill this organ gun right here. if you can't get a lot of value out of your artillery, at least kill the enemy's artillery, because the enemy's artillery will dominate against you if it's the only artillery standing. So make sure their cannons are dead before you start focusing on infantry targets. Good, you took out the last organ gun. But from the looks of it, and I'm going to have to double check this, Portugal is deciding to produce heavy cannons from his factories. So we're going to see a constant free queue of these coming out at all times. Swedes are going to have to accommodate to this somehow, maybe going for cavalry, maybe putting out some culverins. They're going to have to deal with this threat of constant heavy cannons, which, as you know, they have multipliers against infantry. They also have a very large attack, even stronger than the falconet, so you need to be ready for that type of stuff. Caroliners, Guard Caroliners, Veteran Hussars. That seems to be the next step here. Just finishing off those Dragoons. But here comes the cannons, the heavy cannons. They're going to continue to shoot here. Yep, definitely. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, wow. The Hussar is still somehow alive. Nope, dead. Oh, get out of there. You know this cannon's gonna do to you. You need to... Well, I mean, I guess you're already over there, so just do a little bit of sieging. Maybe you could get your sabers into this cannon. Yeah, that's what I would do, yeah. Caroliners, they're great at sword fighting, so if you can get them right up in person with the cannon sometimes, that's usually the best way to go. Portuguese shipping covered wagons, about 2 covered wagons. It also increases their build limit by 2. So we're looking at, what are we looking at here? We're looking at more town centers. That is unreal. More town centers. 5 TCs. And what's the Ville build limit at right now? Like 56, well 53 on the field, so yeah, he's definitely popping stuff out. Probably playing his defense along the side. I mean, I just saw crossbowmen coming out. Also more dragoons. What is Swedish going to do to deal with this exactly? Now they're starting to get steel traps. Maybe thinking about hunting some meat to get their eco up. We do see about, what is this, 3 artillery foundries, so we're going to see a lot of cannon spam. Petards, also horse artillery. Horse artillery will be great against any infantry on the field, which unfortunately there's not a lot of right now. I do see the heavy cannons, I do see the dragoons. Somewhere there should be crossbowmen somewhere here, maybe. No, I don't see crossbowmen, so maybe cancel the queue for them. Oh, grenadiers. Does he have grenade launchers by any chance? No, I don't see grenade launchers in there, so he's just going for plain old vanilla grenadiers. Interesting. He seems to be producing something from all of the artillery foundries in his possession right now. Wide variety of siege units. Hussars are probably going to get shredded by the dragoons. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, they're going to get shredded by those. And then we're going to see the Caroliners and the Grenadiers taking up the front of the steering here to do some attacks. Oh, Petards. Make sure the Petards are doing something useful here. They're going to be wasted. No, nope. You got to put that over here. Oh, no. That was a pretty frantic fight, though, so it's still going on. You gotta make sure with the Petards you keep the eyes on the prize. Keep them on the town centers, on the forts, on the factories, onto something. Because otherwise it's just a waste of your food and wood. Now he's starting to get a little bit smarter here and putting down a culverin. Also, I was going to get culverins Royale to keep him up with the industrial age upgrades. Yeah, you're gonna have to play your game pretty carefully here to deal with these heavy cannons, because he already has uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, about 5 of them. And if he keeps making more of these, you're not gonna have a way of pushing him, and then he's gonna have a way of pushing onto you, because heavy cannons attacking foundries, they do that pretty easily. You know, they're very strong pieces of artillery, you can tell. So yeah, like 400 per shot. Only takes, you know, like 8-9 of these insta kill this building. But oh, wait a second, Hussars, they did a speedy maneuver around the Dragoons, and now they're gonna have a field day cutting these down. Great. Took out the heavy cannons. Perfect. Just what you needed right now to get back in the game. Also, you can take those Dragoons as well, since they seem to be idling, trying to retreat. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you'll get that probably with an attack of these units or something. You did most of the damage you needed to this Dragoon. Oh, but he's going to be focusing on this TC here, the most exterior one. 3 queues of Petards. Interesting choice. You gotta make sure this time, though, that you're attacking the TCs, you know? The thing you're supposed to be blowing up, or alternatively a factory or fort. Building it's really expensive that you don't want to lose. Well, 6 are going to the factory. Well, 5 are going to the factory. 3 are going to... Yep, 3 are going to the factory. The rest are going to the TC. You can put this one on the TCs. Yep, great. This is what Petards... Oh, they blew up that... Oh my... What is this? What is this? Terrorist attack? Wow. Petards at their prime. Yeah, this is why, you know, over the years, I have dealt with a lot of players in free-for-alls, as well as 1 versus 1s that love to spam Petards. Petards can ruin a good day if you don't know how to deal with them, if you don't defend well, if you're not putting up, you know, defensive towers and stuff. Petards can just roll into your base and blow up everything that you care about, you know, in seconds. Kind of a scary thing, you know. Cassadors? Oh, interesting, you know. Cassadors. They have very low HP, but they have really high armor values. They also have a stronger attack than average, I find. In Wars of Liberty, it's a bigger difference, but they still have I think a slightly more increased attack in vanilla. Oh, nice. We see Snap Block. This will give the Carolinas more range. Right now they have about 12 range. Then they'll go to about 14 range, which, you know, makes them better against other infantry units. You know, they can kite them a bit and actually go back and forth. We also see the Hessian contract coming out, so it'll deliver him some Jaegers. But at the same time, he will have them available from his barracks to train, since he does not get a standard skirmisher unit to produce. The closest thing he has without that is crossbowmen. And they don't get any sort of guard or imperial tech, so they fall behind real quickly, especially in this industrial age. Yeah, it looks... Yep, this is great, you know, because the Torps are using up the mines. This allows Shaman to keep his settlers mainly on the Huns, because obviously these Torps can't shoot guns out of their windows and start gathering... Well, they can gather from the dead animals, but they can't shoot the animals, you know, and start running to them and stuff. Their houses. Houses don't have legs, but... You know what does have legs? Horses like the Hussars. Perfect for taking out this heavy cannon. And oh! He petard the houses? Or did he use the calls? I didn't quite see that. Oh, he does have petards though. Yeah, they're gonna... Is he gonna get this? Yeah, you got that TC down. This one should go down easily if you can... nah. Just fell short of it. Ordnance Riflemen. Yeah, these are a special upgrade you can get, I believe, for Royal Decree. Is that right? Yeah, you use the Royal Decree and you turn your crossbowmen into these guys. And basically they cost food and wood. They're a little bit weaker than Castadors in general purposes, but they're actually a lot cheaper to spam out. So yeah, that's probably his philosophy here, is use the coin for the Dragoons, get the heavy cannons for free, and then train the Ordnance Riflemen with my wood. You know, that's a decent army comp. Skirmisher, Dragoon, heavy cannon. You can kill all unit types with that if you're very clever and smart. More Caroliners as well as Hussars. That composition is working well for him right now. He is again a multiplier value of these Caroliners, but at least they're serving as decent ranged infantry, which in mass can dish out a lot of damage against the enemy army. Here comes another card. Finn Horses. This will give more HP to cavalry units like the Hussar and the Hakapalit, which is the unique Swedish Dragoon. Giant Grenadiers. Where did he get these from? He must have trained these. Yep, he trained them. From the tavern. I like these mercenaries. They're very powerful. You know, they basically shoot grenades out of their rifles that deal splash damage. So they do quite a bit of damage. Quite a bit of damage. Oh, what's going on here? We see Dragoons, Legion Dragoons going for a raid. Wow. Powerful. Made him go into the outposts over there. But at the same time, Swedes are not going to forget that, and they're going to come back with a vengeance. You know, Hussars doing some raiding work here, and then the main infantry army plows in after them. And then the Petards are going to take a shot at this factory next. Yeah, that's the next landmark to get, is this factory. And no more heavy cannons to deal with. You know, that's very important. Yep, get the factory. Get the factory. Get enough of the factory. Perfect. No more heavy cannons from Portugal. Denied. Denied. Great. Horse artillery now to deal with these ordnance riflemen. Yeah, you just gotta kill this one heavy cannon and no more nasty artillery units to deal for the rest of the match, I would say. Yeah, don't watch him. Watch him. He's going in alone. You never want to go alone. Oh, but nope. Are you gonna get the shot in time? Nope. Unfortunately, not. If you got that first cannonball into the can, I think you could have taken it down. But oops. We all make mistakes. Trust me. It's pretty normal. It's a pretty normal thing. Probably these civilians are probably relieved that the Dragoon raid has ended. Yeah. Has Portugal sent? Yep, they have sent Order of Aviz. This is the card that gives the Dragoons more range and line of sight, giving them really the strongest Dragoons in the game. Great for taking out these Hussars. They're also great against artillery. And also Portuguese get a Royal Guard upgrade with inevitably more stats. Theirs is called the Legion Dragoon. Alright, so we got Castadors and Dragoons next. organ gun shipment coming in for Portuguese. They really need a solution to deal with these Caroliners, and they no longer have the factories to make their cans anymore, so they need a new solution. As for the Swedish, more Caroliners, Hussars, their factories are working on coin. Oh wow, a raiding cannon. A raiding cannon. The raiding cannon just, the heavy cannon just blew up this torp. And this torp will be going down as well. A defensive town center? That sounds good to me. You know what also sounds good to me is the potential of getting another successful fight over here. Can you really plow in effectively with what you got now, you think? Well, at the moment, the Carolinas seem to be handling themselves pretty well. Until the organ guns come in. These organ guns are going to have to be dealt with somehow. You're either going to need to get more Hussars, or you're going to need to get a culverin or two to snipe these things. Because these organ guns are going to threaten your entire infantry army. And conceivably, he could get an artillery foundry and upgrade these to Rebolds, which will have even better stats. Yep, here comes the culverin. This is going to be used to snipe the organ guns effectively. And then you got the remaining heavy cannon as well you have to consider. Oh, this is a Portuguese town center actually, so Portuguese are forcibly annexing their way onto the Swedish side of the river. I'm gonna have to think of something to do with that. Definitely. 3 Hussar queues. These Hussars are going to come real handy in dealing with these organ guns as well as this heavy cannon here. At the same time though, you need to deal with this threat here. You got the Portuguese starting to chop some of your wood, starting to grab some of your gold. If you don't deal with this threat soon, they could actually work their way down to your base, produce some sort of siege unit. You know, a lot of the times when I see Petards being used offensively, it's caused by a enemy town center built on your side of a base, and then they just start popping them out of an artillery foundry. So if he wanted to return the favor, you know, with Petards, he totally could with this. I don't think he is, you know, it's not always a common play, but from the games I've seen and the players I've dealt with, it always seems to happen, you know. Stick a town center in somebody's base, put a foundry up, and then start spamming Petards. But this is what Swedes are going to do to them. Yeah, he did the Petards to them before he could do the Petards to him. You know, he's definitely not petarded at all. He knows what to do. Well, here comes the Carolinas, and the Hussars are going to be going in for another round of bloodshed here. Yep, Culverin's good job. That's the most important one to kill, but now you're going to have to get the organ guns. Can you get the saber ability on these Carolinas going? You could conceivably charge in, but what might be safer is get the Culverins to roll up a little bit and start hitting them in bombard mode. Oh, this is not over yet. This is not over yet. These settlers, they're not going to give this little parcel of land up. They're building another TC, and they're even using dragoons on this side to cause some pressure. Oh, nice. Ordnance riflemen and dragoons are pushing back a little bit. I'm just curious what the next step is going to be here, because Shaman has held a very strong job this whole game, just blowing up the Portuguese base. Imagine Portugal at this point, if it wasn't for the Petards, they would... Well, what's their Ville limit at now? Let me see. I'm about to look at that. So yeah, 71. Portugal would definitely have the full 99 if they had all their town centers, and they'd also be impossible to attack because, well, you can protect yourself with like 7 TCs and 7 TCs firing on you at the same time. That's really hard to do. Like, really hard to do. Gunpowder infantry combat. This affects musketeers and castadors, but unfortunately, from what I see here, it does not affect these guys, though. Kind of strange, because they are a gunpowder unit. They should be affected by that card, but not. What are you going to do, Shaman, about these dragoons? This is weird to watch, you know. Dragoons are not the best siege units. If you're letting them just get free reign over here, you might have a problem later, you know. All it takes is a Portuguese artillery foundry to make some sort of Petards and roll down here to the south on you. That's something you have to deal with. Carolinas, some leather cannons. I like these leather cannons. They don't cost a lot of pop, but they do a lot of damage, about 120 against the infantry without any sort of upgrade. So, very powerful unit. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it seems like the Carolinas are just a better unit, good against multiple things at this point. See, one thing you're going to want to notice is he actually sent a card called Svi Lifeguard. It actually switches the Carolina's armor. It initially has hack armor so it could fight with its sword, but that card will give it pierce armor, so it actually becomes far better against range unit threats like dragoons and the ordnance rifles. You know, and I think does it even give him more HP? Yeah, it gives him more HP as well. Quite a bit. Oh, here comes the Gustavian Guard. This is the royal decree for the Swedes. It sends out a group of halberdiers, gives them extra armor as well as some extra speed. This is the royal decree I should have sent yesterday when I was doing the 2 versus 1 and the Dalkarian revolutions. Yeah, that would have been a perfect synergy. But, you know, in the end, I didn't need that, you know. The halberdiers just handled themselves perfectly since there was literally 199 of them. Here, there's only 18 of the things. Imagine dealing with 199 halberdiers running through your base. That is not fun to deal with. What's also not fun to deal with is the Savalax Jaegers here. These are a very powerful mercenary skirmisher. And he can actually go stealthy with these as well, which can be very useful in certain situations. Yep, but here's the remainders of them over here. Portuguese did a very fine job of recovering, I would say. They were able to recover just about all of their town centers onto this side of the map. So I'm thinking, let's look at the resources. Yeah, Portugal is really booming in resources right now. This is kind of scary because I thought for a while the Swedes would have won this by now because they were doing the initiative, they were doing the siege work. But from what I see here, these Portuguese, they're not going to be starved of resources anytime soon. He's got the estates and the mills deployed onto the map so he can gather from them. Even though his natural resources are gone, he can keep his economy going. And what the Swedes seem to be doing well on is the fact that they're just fighting better, it seems like, and winning a lot of battles. They're also doing more siege work with their Petards. 3 organ guns. Yeah, I mean, when you're going for full Carolina like this, You definitely want to... Oh, wow! Another Townser down to by those Petards, yeah. I wonder if Sharman... Yep, Sharman's... He seems to be going for the full Petard route. Yeah. But... Oh, he was IOing that one, though. You gotta make sure you don't IO your Petards, man. You keep them blowing up something. Are these Petards? Yep, these are Petards right here, yeah. Imagine that. This town center that was placed here got blown up twice by Petards. Never ceases to amaze me the types of side quests you can do with Petards to blow things up. And by side quests I mean, you know, attacking from multiple angles, you know. Attacking from multiple fronts. Just like this, you take the Carolinas up north here, you get to raid one of the mills, while the rest of your army is down here dealing with the Portuguese military. Yeah, that's the one thing you could put down that would prevent a TC from going up again is a fort. The Dragoons come in though, just in about enough time to cause some problems. Conceivably. Yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point Portugal can still win because they have the resources, but then again, this Swedish military keeps coming back with the bite and a vengeance. You know, well, the organ guns, yep, go into bombard mode, get some serious damage over there. Yeah, I mean, just, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Good work. Good work, Swedish. If it wasn't for your good microing skills and unit choices, I think you probably would have been dead by now from that Portuguese economy. You know, I guess this is sort of one of the ways you deal with Portugal. You know, Portugal has been a tricky sit for me to deal with at times. One way to deal with them, just have a better military that constantly crushes them time after time after time. GG. You know, Portugal couldn't take it anymore. You know, they had to really deal with the mortars now. These things can shell a fort from far away. Supported by this deadly army of Caroliners, so you're definitely not getting back there with hussars at all. GG, both of you. This was an awesome match to watch. I think the Shaman Swedes are really good. I also liked the Portugal performance. You know, he did great at booming. Roderick, good booming with the Portuguese. Yeah, post-game wise, it appears Shaman actually made more resources throughout the match than you know, the Portuguese did. You know, the Swedes. That just shows you how powerful those Torps are. And militarily, superior military tactics not only meant casualties, but also raises, so sieges, with those Petards. If it wasn't for the Petards, I guarantee you his raising rate would be closer to this. Anyways, folks, there's our match. I'm going to be doing more of these, of course. I love doing castle games, and I know you love them too, so I'm going to keep up with them. See you later on. Sign off now.